What's going on, everyone? It's Kyle with another progress video. Today we're going to be looking at some server progress and my Legend account progress because some new news has come out on the Discord server. So what I'm referring to is a post made by Lation today. It was put out in the announcements section of the Discord. This is basically just a post that's called the Ellie revamp slash current state of Ellie slash Ellie 2.0. I think a lot of people have been waiting for this in response to Jordan's previous post on the current state of Ellie and all the responses it got, which was, like I said in the last video, just a huge outpouring of suggestions, thoughts, comments, constructive criticism, everything like that. It was just great to see that so many people were reacting to it and giving their honest, heartfelt opinions about the server that we all know and love. So, enough talk. Let me get on to the biggest subject of this video, which is everything that is going to be done in response. I'm not going to read everything word for word. I'm going to give you a TLDR, summarize each section, but we will go over each section because it's quite a long post with lots of content and changes that are going to be updated, or they're going to be released with the next update. So, the first thing we're confirmed to not be getting is eco reset, EOC, server reset, all accounts, donor store deleted. None of that's going to happen, which I wasn't expecting any of that to happen. I don't think anyone was. It's a meme at this point that that kind of thing would happen because that would cause more problems than it would solve, and people would be outraged and probably quit if their accounts were reset, eco reset, stuff like that. So basically he says that we're not going to be doing this the easy way. We're going to, doing it the right way. We've heard you. The outpouring of feedback and support is being addressed, which I really appreciate that they all took the time to read everything that we put on Jordan's post. So what's changing? Basically, this section here, we're talking about Matt stepping down as a full-time developer. He's going to come on as needed because, let's face it, Matt is a good, great, actually, Java developer for the server. Eclipse isn't easy to use sometimes, and I know it's hard to manage a server full-time by yourself as the main content creator. I know Splash makes models, but, the coding side of things, it's hard to do more than just bug fixes unless you have a little bit of experience with Java. So Matt's been taking on a lot. When he does do stuff for Lation that Lation requests, I know that's a hard job. So that's great that he's taking responsibility and realizing and recognizing, acknowledging that if he has a full-time job, he shouldn't be a full-time developer. So they're going to hire an outside source, which is what we believed was going to be happening due to Matt's response to Jordan's thread that I showed last video. If you haven't seen that, if you want to see it, it's on my channel. But moving on, Luke has also stepped down to being an administrator. I don't see any problem with that. Luke has been around since Zarpor started, which is the predecessor to Ellie that we have today. And being a content creator and an admin at the same time are just two completely different jobs, and focusing on one I think is great for the server. This ties in really well with the changes that are going to be listed below about the rest of the staff team, but we'll get to that in a second. So, head developer, right here, he's talking about he's trying to fill a position as a full-time head developer. They're going to be scouting new talent. I'm sure it's going to be easy to find someone. There's people all over the place asking to be a server developers on like Rune server, stuff like that. If you go on there, you can see tons of people that are interested in doing something like that, especially if they're getting paid, because I know Matt's getting paid and some of the staff team is getting paid, so I don't feel like Lation's going to have any problem paying a head developer, especially when the outcome of stuff that he develops is going to greatly improve the server's life and player base, replayability, stuff like that. That's really important to server continuity. So this section basically talks about more frequent updates. The current team is struggling to deliver, so we are adjusting that. We have already begun on this process, and you'll read more about what we've done down below, which is pretty good. Going forward, we would do absolute best to be transparent about the updates. Great. I love this. I love that this was said right here, because we have this in writing now. We can, look back at this and be like, hey, you guys are being a little mysterious about this update. Not that we're going to use this against them or anything, but most updates have been beta tested through Elijah's in the past. So here we have transparency, which I really like the fact that we're going to be getting transparency on updates moving forward, especially field testing them just like by word of mouth. If the whole player base is like, please don't do this, that's going to affect the future of an update before it comes out. So next we have polling and involvement by you, communication, polling, and involvement by you overall in the direction of the server. Voting is going to be great. If we could actually vote on the outcome or the content of an update, that'd be awesome. What about the diminishing count of active players? This is a section where he talks about how important the OG players are, the people that have stuck around since the beginning. It's, like I said in the last video, people that have stayed through thick and thin, they really deserve to get something out of this, good content, players, a player base increase, staff that care, frequent updates. So he also goes over the fact that ads are at a bad spot this year. This is the least revenue, income, gross product, however you want to say it. Ads at this time of year bring in the least amount of players. The closer we get to summer, the more players we're going to see, which has been the trend for the past 2 years. The third year is probably not going to be any different. And it's not just Ellie that's affected by this lull period. It's every server. In late March to April, traffic picks up. Many more advertisements will go live. And starting now, the development team is back on track. I'm sorry for stuttering so much. I'm trying to get through this quickly, so my video isn't going to be 17 minutes like the last one. This is where he addresses mystery boxes. It is believed that the economy is struggling in-game, and while I believe there is some truth to that, it's not the full story. After taking a closer look at the economy, we noticed items are coming into the game at a significantly faster pace than they are leaving. Definitely true. People don't really have any reasons to get rid of their items other than selling them, but they stay in the game when they sell them. Sometimes people will die and they'll drop their items they don't get back in time, or they die in an instance and they can't get them back. There's no way to get them back from an instance, stuff like that. In those situations, the items are gone forever. Or, whenever someone gets PK'd, those items get taken away. Sometimes they get turned into cash, gone forever. But their solution down below is going to be the Well of Goodwill, which we'll talk about in a second. But, with that said, we believe the Well of Goodwill is the most appropriate solution to the box issues that we've mentioned. Yeah, I agree with that. There's not really a good item sync. There's lots of cash syncs in the game, even though, with a lot of people playing, there's always going to be more cash than the game can sync out via natural methods. But we don't really have an item sync per se. There's ways to lose your items permanently, but there's not a feature in the game that's intended for you to get rid of your items. And you get something in return. It's not like you get rid of them and you don't see anything in return for them. So they will no longer serve no purpose building up within your banks. Great. You can now use them to benefit everybody while doing your part in cleaning up the economy. Awesome. Something great that we're going to see right off the bat, right at the beginning of the post. I love to see that. So this is the last paragraph before he gets to actual changes. Let's see where it says update log. I like this new graphic. It looks great, Lation. Just so you know, I really do like that. It looks super cool. So we're making a lot of changes. We are rehauling everything to better suit you. I'm going to read this whole one because it's the last paragraph. We are shaking off the loose pieces. We are giving Ellie a new home and throwing away Lunar Isle. We are returning to the basics. I like that. Edgeville was a great home in RSPS2 and Zarport 718. We're going to focus a lot more on community involvement and events. To fulfill this, we are incorporating some basic skilling abilities right at New Home. Love that. That has been a big thing. Before the Eternal Bonfire was added, I really wished we had that, so that's great. We are introducing a brand new staff rank known as Event Manager, and, if you haven't already found out, Jordan was selected for this role, so congratulations to him. I'm really proud of him for staying on the staff team in some way, That's great. This individual will be creating, managing, and hosting daily events, activities, and will have the ability to trigger server-wide events such as drop rate boosts in certain areas, massing events, and more. That's fucking awesome. If you didn't know, there's going to be a next event happening very soon, so make sure you show up for that. We're adding monthly voting rewards to the top voters. We will be pushing out updates and fixing bugs at a faster pace. Please, please, please abide by this statement. That's all we're asking for. Even content updates don't have to happen super often if bug fixes are getting added. I love that. We are adding the Well of Goodwill. We killed a bunch of bugs and fulfilled a bunch of suggestions. We sincerely hope this remedies your worries about the direction of Ellie. It does for me, at least at this point. If they stick true to what they're saying, I'm okay with this. I'll keep playing. We believe this changes everything. We are changing the core of Ellie, and we are adapting to what you asked for. This is only the beginning. I believe that. So the next update, so if, it's not clear, this next update hasn't happened yet. It's not live in-game, except for the staff changes, which we'll get to in a second. 1 second. I have a random event right in the middle of my video. How dare you for sending me this? I'm just trying to woodcut, man. Okay. It was Dragon, by the way, in case I didn't show it. So, the next update will be including some incredible changes. Take a look below what's to come. So, going back home, Edgeville, that's sick. Here's the Well of Goodwill, the old NPCs. You got the Aura Shop, Slayer Master, Healer, Decanting, stuff like that. And then it looks like they've added all the shops in one place, which is a really cool addition because I hated running all over the Lunar Isle for different things. So, it looks like we kept most of the shops. Even the Hunter shop is here now, which is really cool. Then this is what they've added to home that's additional, which is awesome. Again, very cool. We've packed our stuff and moved back home to Edgeville. What are some of the benefits of this? Incorporated more skilling at home. Yes, you did. More togetherness. I really like this, especially for new players. Whenever people are joining the server, if they don't see a lot of people at home, I know for me, if I ever joined a new server before I started playing Ellie, if I didn't see a lot of people at home, I honestly just logged out. Added a permanent bonfire. That's cool. We have one of those at home right now, but the new home, or the new home, is going to be having a bonfire, which is great. Added ivy to the walls of the bank. That's really cool. I think that's super sick that they actually went in and added this object to the wall that's not naturally there, so we can train woodcutting, which is pretty not tedious, but pretty time demanding. It takes a while, so that's great. We're going to be able to AFK, but not really AFK because we're going to be talking to each other. It's great. Added an anvil in the furnace building. That's really cool. You can really just do both. It's like the skilling area, but you're at home, which is cool. So this anvil's not usually here, if you guys didn't know. It's just the furnace. That's really great. Making the centerpiece of this home a Well of Goodwill, which is right here, and more familiarity for everyone from vets to new players. I really like Edgeville as a home. I think this is a great idea. Most sought after update, the Well of Goodwill. This is taking longer than it should have. That's kind of true, but at least it's added now. You can see a more full picture above where the well is located at home. So let's get into the details. This will be a 3-tiered Well of Goodwill. Each tier achieved will start a server-wide bonus. Each time a tier is achieved, it triggers the respective event for 1 hour. So basically, you guys can put in as much as you want, but once you hit 1 hour, you will be unable to donate again for another hour of benefits. So the first tier is 500 mil donated, which gives a 25% XP boost to the entire server, which is great. So all those times that we were asking for double XP weekends, I think it was worth the wait because we're now getting this, and we can get it whenever we want. So server-wide, in case I didn't read that part. Tier 2, 1 billion donated equals a 50% XP boost. And Tier 3, 2 bill donated is a times 2 XP boost and a 10% drop rate boost. That's awesome. So it doesn't just benefit skillers that have hit 5 bill, There's people that do PVM and don't really care about PV or skilling, and they can get this drop rate boost that benefits just both sides of the spectrum, PVM and skillers alike, so that's great. When Tier 3 is achieved, no more can be donated until the 1 hour passes. Once the time expires, you'll be able to donate again for another hour of benefits. Here's a dev beta GIF of Lation donating, and it shows down here which status it is. So I guess he's going to add that for everyone, but the donated GP value is 500 million, and you can see which tier is activated. This is only the beginning. We will tweak, advance, and adjust the well to what best suits our players and economy going forward. Great. Thank you for that. Event manager, staff changes, and Elijah. So I'm going to start paraphrasing again to get through this quicker. But basically here he's saying that Elijah's no longer needed because we're not going to be super beta testing anything anymore. We're going to be fielding it to the entire Discord or the entire player base to see what they think before it comes out, instead of keeping it behind the curtains, showing it to a select group of people. I think that's better. I think that, I mean, if there's any harsh feelings about that from the player base, I think that it quashes them before updates come out, which is great. So Jordan has been picked for event manager. Again, congratulations to Jordan. There's been some staff changes, just because of the lack of players. Less than 20 people on at a time, usually concurrent at a given day during the week. Sometimes 25 on the weekends. It's great to see that this is happening, because the amount of staff we had compared to the size of the player base was just not very good. It wasn't a good ratio. So it looks like he kind of removed the players that don't play as much as the people that stayed on the team. And the people that did stay on the team, I completely agree with. It's a great decision. So Callum, Masood, Chaotic, Enzyme, and, well, not Kemi, but these 4 have been demoted, and not just one rank, they have had their ranks completely removed, so they're now just regular players. Kemi's been moved to moderator from global. Not really a big change to Kemi's rank. He's still a great player. He plays often, has stuck around since he started, and that's just great to see. So congratulations to Kemi for staying on, and for everyone that's been demoted, I have no hard feelings. You are all great staff members, so hopefully you'll continue to play even though this change has been made. And this is where Relation thanks all of them. Obviously, it was very warranted to thank them. No reason not to. And then the beta testing role has been removed, like I said. Punishment log reset. This is actually something nobody was expecting, I don't think. Basically, he removed IP bans, MAC bans, IP mutes, and everything from every account that's ever played, which is about 15,100 last time I was given the total. So if you've played before and you're somehow seeing this video and you're banned, come on back and just give it a try, guys, because it's a brand new server at this point moving forward. So all punishments have been reset, which is great. Monthly voting rewards are going to be added to the top 3 voters of every month. This will be done by the time the update goes live, and it's in its early stages and has to be finalized, which is fine. You don't have to come up with something right away. Just giving people incentive to vote is great. And the last part of the video, or the post, is going to be about bug fixes. A few bugged K4s have been replaced by a proper NPC. Gargoyle that spawns in the Abyssal Demon's Room and Slayer Tower has been removed. Purple Slayer helm withdrawn as no has been fixed. These are the throwing discs that threw at 2 tick instead of 3, which was making blowpipe pretty much useless to go for. Added one more Iron Dragon to Ancient Cavern. That's actually sick. If you guys don't train Slayer there, you don't really know the struggle, but there was more steel than iron, and iron is a more common, quicker task that people will go for, so that's great. Celestial items now have a base value of 50 million GP. That's actually awesome. This is, if you guys don't know or do PVM, the purpose of this change is to make sure that it protects over lower value items whenever you either use a protection prayer or you don't have it on. You're going to save Celestial over some items due to this change. Cannonball packs in quantities of 1,000 can now be purchased from the Slayer Point shop for 300 points. That's great. They were coming from PVM points, but now you can get them in the Slayer shop for 300 points. Added noted butterfly jars to the Hunter store. You're welcome, Iron Man. I don't know. I don't play Iron Man, so I don't know if that's a good update or not. Soft clay has been added to the construction shop. That's fucking sick. And items made tradable. All these items have been made tradable, and if you guys saw my last video, the Boogie Bow was one of my items that I have that is not tradable, as well as the Christmas sleigh. So that's great. Fancy boots, I have those as well. So this is really cool. Adding new items to the economy while adding an item sync. Pretty cool. Final words. None of this is in live game yet. It basically just sums up. This is only the beginning. I actually can't wait to see what happens. And then we have a bunch of replies. I actually said that I accepted your offering because, you guys know I'm a bitch when updates come out. I'm the biggest critic of updates, but I wholeheartedly approve of this update, so thank you, Elation, for that. I put reform is good, and that's what I'm expecting to see moving forward. So I wish you guys and the staff team the best of luck. But, as you can see, the outpouring of Mostly positive. I haven't read the last few, but the ones I did read were all positive and, very high hopes for the future of the server. So that's about it for progress to the server. Now we're going to get back to the progress of my account. I don't plan on making a alt at the moment, but I'm probably going to have to come up with something in the future that'll help me gather extra materials. I'm going to have to either start paying people, or I will actually have to make an alt, and I don't really want to do that because I've invested so much time into my legend. I just can't see myself doing it again on another account. But as far as progress goes, I have switched to woodcutting with an Inferno ads, I think it's called. Yeah, Inferno ads to do woodcutting, specifically because I'm training two skills at once. I don't really want to do a lot of AFKing. It's not something I'm a fan of. So this is nice having two skills getting trained at once, because the Inferno ads, it's about the same speed as a rune hatchet, but it also burns logs once in a while whenever you're cutting them, and gives you fire making XP while you're training wood cutting. So, I mean, I guess it gets a little bit of the tediousness of fire making out of the way. As you can see, I'm at 121 million. I don't know what I was in my last video, but that's where I'm at right now. And then wood cutting is about 18 million. I started at 99 like base XP today, so I've gained about 5 million wood cutting and maybe 3 or 4 million fire making. It's pretty slow, but it eliminates the need of having to train fire making later, and it's more efficient in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to be doing for, a couple million XP. I don't know where I'm going to go after that, but hopefully by the time I get done with 200 mil wood cutting, I'll be close to 200 mil fire making, and then whatever I don't finish, I'm going to have all these logs left over. And I did run out of logs, so I had to switch to wood cutting with an ads to keep my XP going, so in fire making at least. So that's a little bit of an update to what I've been doing. My total XP is almost 1.9 billion. I'm going to probably stay on tonight and try to hit 1.9 or 2 billion. That'd be really cool to be the first legend on any game mode to hit 2 billion. I know I have patron benefits, but I think that's still an achievement, because I'm still not even at half the XP a default account has with all my boosts. So I still have pride in that achievement, especially since I had to start over, because I do have a punishment history on the server. So it's just cool to see how far I've come, in my opinion, since I restarted my account. So I'm going to show you guys my high scores really quick. I'm still barely above Jordan. He's about 20 million behind. After I log out, I might be like 25 ahead, but I'm trying to keep my rank 1 now that I've finally overtaken Nick. It's important to me to keep going and try to stay on top as long as I can on the road to 5 billion. So yeah, that's just really what I've been doing since my last video. I'm really happy about these changes. Let me know what you guys think about the changes in the comment section, or hit me up on Discord or on the forums, anywhere you guys like. I really appreciate everyone that watches my videos. So this is probably going to end it for this one, and thank you guys for watching.